Nil. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley. It is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out, put it wide of the target. That was then set. In the box, Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley, it is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out. Put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley, it is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out. Put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked past Moyer, but Hummels made a great last-ditch challenge. Half-time at Wembley, it is England 0, Germany 0. It certainly has been cagey, but both sides have had chances. Harry Maguire with a free header 10 yards out. Put it wide of the target. That was from a set piece. Havertz then set Timo Werner free in the box. Jordan Pickford came out quickly to close it down, made a great save. Very few chances other than that until right on the stroke of half-time. Sterling half tackle, ball went through to Kane. He knocked it past Moyer, but Hummels made a great lap.
Well, a warm welcome back to our coverage of England's last 16 clash with Germany goalless at the break. Both sides had their moments, the Werner chance and the Maguire chance, but possibly the best chance fell to Harry Kane, just a whistle. That was after a mistake from Thomas Muller, but didn't actually get a shot off as the second half is underway. No changes at the break, so it's goalless. In this second period, Trippier goes down the line looking for Calvin Phillips, but that is way over hit and bounces for a Germany goal kick. No changes at the break, Thomas. Are you expecting many changes in the plan of attack for both sides?
Well, I'm not surprised that neither managers made a change at the break because, you know, nothing particularly went wrong for either side during the first half. Yes, there could have been more creativity and the attacking players could have been involved more for either side. But I think overall Gareth Southgate and Joachim Low would be pretty satisfied. But as this game develops, substitutions are going to be so key. We saw it in the games yesterday. Substitutes coming on and having a major impact, scoring decisive goals. So I expect plenty of changes to be made. They've both got 5 substitutes apiece during this second period, and the game's probably crying out for a bit more creativity on both sides. So from an England point of view, you're looking at least one, if not both, of Phil Foden and Jack Grealish coming on.
Yeah, Germany haven't kept a clean sheet in any of the last 6 matches, which includes a 2-1 home defeat to North Macedonia. Even when they were put 7 past Latvia, they did concede as well, but England are more worried about the fact this is a knockout game and they don't want to gift Germany too easy an opportunity, I guess. It has been cagey. Possession stats, well, both sides have had their moments. Germany started well, but the longer the half went on, England might be considered to have been in the ascendancy. Of course, that chance I was talking about for Kane on the stroke of half-time essentially stemmed from a poor pass from Muller and then tackles that might have been lucky. Raheem Sterling tackled on the edge of the box and the ball went to Harry Kane. So it's not as if England carved Germany open there. And as I say, credit to Mats Hummels. Has been in the firing line a little bit from Germany critics of late. He also made that vital interception for that quick Trippier free kick. But chances certainly at a premium. And Tom referenced how many touches Harry Kane has had in that first half. you might argue it was as many as Sterling and Saka. Thomas Muller, Kai Havertz has been a little bit more involved. Timo Werner, of course, had a great chance. Germany are on the attack for the first time in this second half. Toni Kroos, 35 yards out to the edge of the box. Layoff from Goretzka, dinked in, comes out to Toni Kroos. Declan Rice got a foot in. Kroos keeps it alive. It's out to Gosens, who gets a shot cross in on the turn. Cleared. Oh, tipped over the bar by Jordan Pickford. Header clearance by Kyle Walker. Kai Havertz has lashed it towards goal on the edge of the box, and Jordan Pickford has pulled off a fingertip save over the top.
Brilliant goalkeeping from Pickford and a brilliant strike as well from Kai Havertz. Germany did well to keep the pressure on the attack alive. Gosens helps the ball back into the middle. It breaks across to Havertz just a yard or so inside the area on the half volley. Difficult technique, but he strikes it so true. But Pickford was the equal to it.
Corner comes in towards the near post. Goretzka challenges. I think it was John Stones who won the header, and then it's hacked away by Luke Shaw into touch, throw into Germany. So first Germany attack has led to a brilliant save from Pickford. If that's a foot either side, it's probably in the back of the net, because it was pretty much over Pickford's head and he just had to reach up. I say just, it was fingertips that denied the Chelsea man. As England back in possession with Harry Maguire just outside his own box. Finds club teammate Luke Shaw, but he turns into traffic and now dispossessed. Kimmich has it. Finds Timo Werner, who's 35 yards right channel to Kai Havertz. Back towards Goretzka on the halfway line, and Germany will start again. That's Hummels, the deepest of those three defenders. Finds Rudiger. Now across to Goretzka. Everybody in white behind the ball, and obviously Germany in black, trying to probe for another opening. Kai Havertz coming closest in the second half, first chance of the second half, and as I say, it was a brilliant save. But it remains 0-0 with just about 50 minutes gone at Wembley. It's independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. That's not a fantastic ball from Manuel Neuer. That's far too much of Kimmich. You can't keep it in. And it's a throw-in on the halfway line. Just had another look at that save. Is this going over, Tom?
Well, certainly Jordan Pickford can't take any chances. I think it probably is going in off the underside of the crossbar. And as you mentioned, it's a brilliant save. But if that is a yard either side of the Everton goalkeeper, he's not keeping that one out. And Germany are 1-0 up. And it's been a similar start to the second half as we saw in the first, with Germany coming out the blocks quickly. England eventually settled as they look to come on the attack now. And they'll be hoping they can settle a little bit quicker in the second period than they did in the first.
Yeah, there's the two right-sided defenders who are trying to work in tandem there. Trippier cutting inside, and then a reverse ball out to Walker. Rudiger had spotted the danger and hammers it away into touch. The throw-in is England's, and Walker will stay up. He, as I suggested in the first half, appears to have a longer throw than Kieran Trippier, and they might be going straight into the box. Walker with the delivery. It's not a bad one. It's over John Stones' head, though. And then headed clear up towards Werner, who tries to lay off towards Havertz, but Trippier gets a foot in and wins the ball back. Goretzka tries to sniff out a mistake to keep the pressure on, but it's worked by Stones over to Sterling, cuts inside Goretzka. Now he's running at Kimmich, left edge of the box, onto his right foot though. He wants a runner, tries to sneak it through for Harry Kane. It won't go through that wall of black, and it's cleared up to the halfway line by Germany, but Timo Werner eased off the ball by John Stones, so it's England back in possession. Sterling, he had half a chance to run at a defender or take a shot. Seemed to be just lacking a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, we know he's got the pace to get beyond this German defence, but he was waiting for the run of Harry Kane, and that pass was never really on. He was trying to force it through a gap that wasn't there. And you know, if that was a slightly more confident Raheem Sterling, I know he's got 2 goals in this tournament so far. England's only 2 goals, but he didn't score that many over the second half of the season for Manchester City. Found himself in and out of the team, and maybe not playing with quite the swagger that he had this time 12 months ago. Yeah,
of course, he has got 100% of England's goals in this tournament so far. And, well, might just take one more. This game hasn't had too many chances. It's 0-0. Of course, there is the prospect of extra time and, of course, those penalties, which people have been talking about when England and Germany get involved. Germany, of course, beat England on penalties at Wembley in Euro 96. They did, of course, beat England at Italian 90 as well, but that was in Italy. But obviously, the last penalty shootout at Wembley went the way of Germany, and they're on the attack. They've come closest to scoring in this half. You might argue both halves, really. Pickford making saves to deny Havertz and Werner. Maguire probably missing England's best chance. Didn't hit the target as Kimmich has it. Right edge of the box. Cross in towards the far post, and arriving late and jumping early was Gosens. It's just half flapped clear by Pickford in the end. And maybe the defenders did enough to prevent Gosens from getting a clean header. But Germany still have the attack. Harry Kane just moments ago landed awkwardly trying to challenge from the clearance. He was slow to get up. Germany aren't waiting around for him to do so. They're back on the attack. Right hand side, Kai Havertz, who's trying to go around Sterling, but Sterling back in the left back position is able to clear. Hits it up towards the halfway line. Harry Kane is still down. Mats Hummels, what a nice man. He's collected the ball, he's put it out of play, and a chance for Kane to get some treatment.
Yeah, as you say, I'm not sure if he's landed awkwardly or he's taken a blow. He seems to be clutching the right ankle. We know Harry Kane's had ankle problems in the past. He's challenging with Hummels, and he just seems to go down. He's not actually jumped for the ball, has he? I'm not sure if his ankle, he's rolled it as he's looking at Hummels and wondering where the ball is, but he's certainly in a degree of pain, Harry Kane, and this will be a concern. Harry Kane, yes, he hasn't had the greatest game and hasn't been that involved so far or in this tournament, but he's so key to what England do. He's such a goal-scoring threat. And the other caveat, which we haven't really mentioned so far in the commentary, you can only name, of course, 23 of your 26-man squad in the match day party, and England haven't included the only other out-and-out striker in the 26, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, not on the bench today, so their options as that leading striker are limited. I suppose the man on our screen now, Marcus Rashford, is the most likely candidate to come on, but it is a little bit strange that Calvert-Lewin wasn't included in the 23.
Good exchanges of the second half. Pretty cagey in truth, but there has been one chance created, and it's a pretty good one as well. Germany on the attack. Tony Kroos just keeping the ball alive in and around the England box. It was worked out to the left. Gosens got a cross in. It was only half cleared onto the edge of the box, centre of the D, and running onto it, Kai Havertz unleashed a left-footed half volley that was finger-tipped over by Jordan Pickford. Brilliant save from him. One other worrying moment for England. Harry Kane needed a bit of treatment after going down following an aerial clash with Mats Hummels. We'll keep an eye on that one, but that's the only real chance for Kai Havertz, and again Pickford to England's rescue. It's still 0-0.
Harry Kane has made his way to the sideline, seems to be moving a lot freer now, and he gave the thumbs up as well to Gareth Southgate to signal that he certainly feels he's okay to continue. He is now back on the field, so it's 11 against 11 once again. Kyle Walker in possession for England, doesn't see an obvious ball forward, so rolls it back to Jordan Pickford, who's arguably been England's best player so far in this game. A couple of important saves in either half from Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. Ball with John Stones now. England enjoying a bit of possession inside their own half. They've been slightly on the back foot in these opening 11 minutes or so at the start of the second, and to feel their way back into the contest again.
If you didn't know, or if you're just joining us, both of England's central midfielders are on yellow cards. Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips. Raheem Sterling with a bit of pace works a lovely 1-2 with Harry Kane. He's 20 yards out. He's looking for Saka. No, he goes infield into traffic, though. Goretzka's worked hard for Germany, wins it back, and now Germany counter with Kai Havertz on the right. He's only got Timo Werner up in support as the white shirts come. He's managed a nutmeg pass to Werner into the box. He's trying to go around Stones. Stones sticks to his task, and maybe Werner got the shot off, but it was blocked at source. Behind, the corner kick is Germany's, but one end to the other.
Yeah, really good counter-attack from Germany. Lovely pass from Havertz, but credit to John Stones. Stands up, doesn't dive in, forces Werner down the left-hand side onto his unfavoured foot and manages to snuff out the opportunity. At the other end, Raheem Sterling needed to keep the ball going out wide. He shouldn't have cut back into traffic after opening up the space down the right-hand side, and that's why he ended up giving the ball away.
Corner's taken short this time. Kroos gets it back off Muller, still stabs it into the box. Harry Kane heads away. It's going to go over Kroos' head and out of play for a Germany throw. Maybe 5 yards from the corner flag. Gosens waits for a ball to be thrown to him and then takes it quickly to Kai Havertz. Little Croydon pass, but Thomas Muller caught on his heels, and it's hammered away by England into the Germany half, and Manuel Neuer beats Antonio Rudiger to the ball. That ball is only 10 yards inside the Germany half, so perhaps signs that opening 13 or so minutes of the second half belong to Germany. I have to say, not too many chances. Obviously the Havertz one was saved. Werner never quite beat the defender, but England haven't offered too much so far in this second period. Harry Kane will keep an eye on his potential injury. I'm more worried that front three aren't really affecting this game. They're not seeing much of the ball. I wouldn't say they're helping out the defenders either too much. I know Sterling found himself at left back once, but England have got to find a way to get 3 players involved in this game.
Yeah, and whether that's a change in personnel up front or they alter something a little bit further back. I think you're right. We're 13 minutes into this second half. England have barely had a kick in Germany's final third, and Gareth Southgate, with the 5 substitutions available to him, has got to be considering making 1 or 2 and at least freshening things up. I think, as you say, Sterling's been involved and he's busy and does look a threat. So I think he's doing okay, but maybe he has to freshen up Saka, and even Kane may have to come off just to give England another dimension in the final third.
Hummels wins a flick on inadvertently. Saka will give chase. That's a sliding interception from Ginter. Saka has stayed down. Now, Ginter definitely won the ball. And credit to Germany, they've put the ball into touch for a throw-in. Having another look now, he's definitely won the ball, but his knee, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this challenge. It's just football. Saka was trying to run across him. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with this challenge, but this might actually make up Gareth Southgate's mind. Just as I'm saying that, he looked in a bad way, but now he's on his feet, and maybe there isn't a decision to make after all.
Yeah, he's hobbling a little bit. It did look like the momentum of Ginter, which, as you say, was a completely fair challenge, but the momentum of the German defender and his knees took him into Saka's ankle, and he looked like he rolled it slightly, and that would have been concerning. But like Harry Kane before him, it appears like Saka's able to run it off. Certainly, by the way, he's closing Manuel Neuer down at the moment.
Yeah, it's cleared away by Manuel Neuer, and Declan Rice has just eased Kai Havertz out of the way. I didn't think there was too much wrong with this one, but the referee has said there is a foul. It's on the halfway line. Nothing more than a free kick, which Germany have taken to keep possession. They've gone backwards with it, and happy to be in possession. It might have been Maguire rather than Declan Rice, actually. As I said, Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips are England's 2 yellow cards. The 2 sort of central midfielders. I'm not going to say holding, because we have seen Calvin Phillips get quite high up the pitch. Ginter is the only German on a yellow card, as England have a throw-in just inside Germany's half. Left-hand side, Luke Shaw with it. We're into the final half hour of the 90. No goals as yet. No threat in the second half from England as yet, as Luke Shaw is taking his time about this throw-in. Saka wasn't a great layoff, but Harry Kane's worked it well back to Declan Rice, and there's a bit of space now on the right for Kieran Trippier. Kyle Walker is bombed up in support. He takes away defenders. The cross from Trippier doesn't beat the first man. Calvin Phillips and Kai Havertz challenged for the ball. Neither quite knew where it had ended up, but Luke Shaw was able to regain possession back for England. Doesn't like the blind alley he's running down there. Plays it safe. Back to John Stones in the centre circle. And England will begin again. Signs that Kyle Walker wants to be a bit more aggressive than plenty of his teammates. As I say that, it's a big up and under from him. Saka's not interested in trying to beat Ginter in the air. Phillips nods it forward though, and now Rice finds Saka, taking on Hummels down the right, cuts back inside. I think Hummels got half a foot in. It's kept alive by Rice. Trippier whips it in. Sterling nods it back to Calvin Phillips, heads it down for Luke Shaw. Now Sterling on his right foot, swings it into the middle, but that's too close to Manuel Neuer, and England are just looking a little bit impotent.
They are, but the pattern of the game has followed what we saw at the start of the first as well. Germany came out the blocks quickly, but over the last 5 minutes or so, England have started to take a little bit more control and certainly see more of the ball once again. I think we've discussed the changes potentially in the final third. I think it'll be interesting to see Gareth Southgate's mentality, if you like, in terms of the change he may make in the middle of the midfield. You mentioned Phillips and Rice both on a yellow card. You'd imagine one of those two will eventually come off. You don't want to run the risk of picking up a second yellow. And then what will we see from Gareth Southgate? Will it be like for like for Jordan Henderson coming on, or will he go a little bit more attacking?
Antonio Rudiger strides forward for Germany, then plays a ball that's a little bit too early for Kai Havertz to react to. Walker beats him to. It's cleared. Headed back, though, by Gosens. It's over all of his teammates and bounces through to Jordan Pickford, who floats it out to the left-hand side. But certainly Luke Shaw was in a more defensive position than where this ball ended up. And Jordan Pickford looks frustrated. Arguably should have just cleared his lines. Camera focuses on Jack Grealish. I'm not sure he'd see too much of the ball either, the way that England are playing at the moment. As Mats Hummels holds possession for Germany on the halfway line. Joshua Kimmich out on the right touchline, only just inside the England half. He's sort of looking downfield, but then plays it back to the halfway line and Hummels. This is certainly a game where neither side has taken chances as yet. That's for sure. They've got into good positions, but I don't think it's been because somebody's taken a chance in the game. Very wary of their opponent's threat, which arguably might be greater on the counter, the pace that both sides have going forward. I mean, is that the problem? Teams don't want to attack because they'll get countered. That's a good ball from Hummels, finds Thomas Muller. Now Timo Werner. Muller takes over, up in support. I say up in support, he's just switched to the left-hand side. Kai Havertz now running at Kieran Trippier. He's got the Atletico full-back back-pedalling. Rudiger is up in support, back to Havertz, down the channel for Werner, pulls it back and it's stabbed clear by Maguire and will reach Raheem Sterling. There's more defenders back than England attackers as he tries to round Joshua Kimmich, and Kimmich has been penalised. It's actually Tony Cruz who's penalised, I beg his pardon, and England get a free kick.
Yeah, Sterling did well there to draw the free kick because he didn't really have any support. Kane and Saka were too far away from him, and I think that is the problem for England. We've referenced throughout this match that the front three are struggling to get involved, and yes, that's partly their fault, but there's just not enough support coming forward. The other outfield players, the other 7 outfield players are sitting very deep, and there's a big gap between those 7 and the front three, which is making it really difficult for England to sustain any attack. So similar for Germany going the other way, but I think there's a little bit more cohesiveness about them when they do come forward.
Free kick is on the halfway line, so no imminent danger. England aren't sending up the likes of Stones and Maguire. Both have had look dangerous from set pieces, and the few that England have had, of course, Maguire's had a pretty good chance, 2 chances really, but one was a lot better than the others. Xhaka, well, he's caught in possession and then he's wrestled Rudiger to the ground, and that'll be a free kick to Germany, halfway inside their own half, much to the delight of some Germany fans. Saka struggled in this game. We talked about it. The front three have struggled. You're not going to take off Harry Kane right now, I wouldn't suppose, and Sterling's arguably been a little bit more dangerous, plus he's got 2 goals. If Gareth Southgate makes a change, that is. He's not renowned for just changing things around, though, Tom. I mean, are you expecting an England change or even a Germany change anytime soon?
Well, because of the 5 substitute rule we have at this tournament, I would have expected one of the managers to have made a change so far. They can't be too far away from coming as we approach the final quarter of the 90. In fact, might be seeing the board coming out now, so maybe there's going to be a German change. Leroy Sané, I think it is, or it might be coming on. But either way, I think the changes will start coming thick and fast. You've got those substitutions, that luxury of 5 changes. You may as well use them.
Yeah, I suppose from a Germany viewpoint, I might suggest that Thomas Muller hasn't played too much of an influential role in this one. Timo Werner's missed a chance, and Kai Havertz has been quite lively. Ball into the box, and it's Gosens who's actually making the run in there. It's just overhit, and it's easily gathered by Jordan Pickford. Talking about changes, I was wondering if they were going to make one. It appears that both sides are going to bring on a player. Serge Gnabry for Germany, I think that was, and Jack Grealish for England. They're certainly getting instructions and are stripped and ready. Is that a change of formation for England?
Depending on who the player is to come off, if it's a Saka or Sterling, I think it'll be like for like in terms of the formation, but we know Grealish will provide a different dynamic. He'll drift a little bit more, want to come in field and link the play, and that's what England are missing. As a reference, they've not quite got a link player between midfield and front at the moment, so I can imagine, I think it will be Saka who comes off for Grealish. The other way, Serge Gnabry coming on, plenty of pace. Again, that plays into Germany wanting to be on the counter-attack, although it does look like it's a rather like-for-like switch from them, with Timo Werner the man to come off.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that. He's getting into positions. Thomas Muller's renowned for his goal scoring, actually, but I mean, he's not had a look in. Passing the three-quarter point of the game, very, very cagey indeed. That Havertz chance coming at the start of the half is the only one we've had. England are struggling to get anything going. That's nothing new for this tournament. They've had 5 shots on target prior to this game in 3 matches, but changes have now been made. Serge Gnabry's come on for Timo Werner for Germany, and England have made a change as well. Jack Grealish has come on to replace Bukayo Saka. Whether he'll fill in down the right wing for England remains to be seen. But they're the changes. Nothing's happened too much. Both sides cancelling each other out, and it is still 0-0.
Yeah, so confirmation of those changes. Serge Gnabry on for Thomas Muller for Germany. For Timo Werner for Germany. We suspected it might have been Thomas Muller going off, but it is Werner. And the England change, Jack Grealish on for Bukayo Saka. As Rob mentions, it's going to be interesting to see where Grealish positions himself during the closing minutes of the 90. Anyway, we've got 21 minutes plus stoppage time to play at the end of the regulation time, but the longer it remains 0-0 and all square, the more likely it becomes that this game will be going into an additional 30 minutes, and who knows, potentially penalties as well. What I can tell you is there was a real reaction from the England supporters with Jack Grealish coming onto the field, and he is occupying a central position at this moment in time as England come forward with Harry Maguire. He finds Declan Rice. Grealish is in front of him, Shaw's to his left. He finds the latter, who then hands Grealish his first touch since coming off the bench. He's almost gesturing there, Grealish, looking for some support, and in the end it's not a brilliant introduction to the game for him because he's fouled his man.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that Jack Grealish is going to win at least 5 free kicks in the 21 minutes that he's on the field because he does that well. And of course, first thing he does is concede a free kick, not much in it, but Kai Havertz, there is contact. If that was in the box, the referees would laugh that off as a ridiculous penalty claim, but because it's outside the area and it's not in an attacking position, they feel they can give them a little bit easier. I'd be frustrated if I was a striker, but yeah, not a great first touch. He looked to be kind of floating, didn't he? As you said, he started in the middle. I wonder if they're just going to narrow Kane and Sterling's actually come out onto the right. So maybe Grealish is meant to play on that left-hand side. They're keeping the 5-2-3 perhaps, but not a great start for Grealish.
Yeah, not a great ball there from Kieran Trippier, but he atones by tucking back in and winning possession back quickly. We're into the final 20 minutes then. England 0, Germany 0. Harry Maguire for England finds Harry Kane out on the left-hand side. Grealish made a run over the top. Kane ignores him, goes back instead into Rice, and now Walker works it down the right-hand side for Trippier, who's now needs to link up with Raheem Sterling. Probably fouled there, Kieran Trippier, actually, by Gosens as he was offloading the ball. The referee thought about playing an advantage, but he is going to give the free kick, and he's trotting over. And yeah, I was just wondering, the fact that he didn't play the advantage there with England in possession can only mean that he wants to give a yellow card to the Atalanta wing-back, so Robin Gosens, the second German player to go into the book.
Yeah, he's caught his man. I mean, is that a yellow card? I don't think so. Sterling did something similar in the first half. I mean, it just looks a silly yellow card just because a player reacts. They all do it. I mean, I have been impressed by the referee, and they're not falling for those ridiculously soft free kicks too much. But I'm not convinced that challenge is a yellow card. But England aren't complaining. They've got nothing going in this second half. 72 minutes is just being completed. They've barely had an attack, let alone a shot. Troubling Germany right now. It's been a disappointing second half. A little bit like the Czech Republic. They didn't have an entire shot in the second half of that game either. But of course they were leading that 1-0.
Yeah, no shots on or off target for England since the restart. Germany have had a couple, one on, one off. That Kai Havertz strike about 5 minutes into the second half, by far and away the best opportunity for either side since the restart. But they've both made changes now, and let's see if they will make a difference. It's a throw into Germany midway inside the England half down the left-hand side. Kyle Walker just heading the ball out, and Kieran Trippier, who was on the receiving end of that challenge from Robin Gosens a few minutes ago, has now gone down once again. I'm not sure if it's in relation to that challenge, but the Atletico Madrid fullback has got that kind of forlorn look on his face, which suggests to me that he's going to have to come off.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a hammy, but originally I thought he might have got a knee in his buttock when he challenged for the aerial ball, but now it looks he's getting the left leg stretched. It might have been before then when he miscued a ball. Yeah, he definitely felt something. Is that a hammy? I mean, he's actually grabbed his buttock, so I don't know where. I don't know what that'll be. Obviously, it doesn't look good. I'm not a doctor. I've got no idea. He's sitting up now. It's definitely a left problem. He looks on his face. He actually looks all right, but is that because he's resigned to having to go off? He's got treatment on the pitch. He's walking off now.
Yeah, it's
difficult to work out if he's coming back on or not.
Yeah, he initially looked really resigned to coming off. He's in consultation with the medical team now. I think he's definitely going to come back on, but maybe that will just be fleeting with Reece James warming up, the obvious replacement to come on at right wing back. I suppose England could bring on an extra centre back and move Kyle Walker into that position, but I doubt they would look to tinker that much, as a long ball forward from Phillips trying to release Grealish down the left hand side. Difficult one for him to try and get under control, and it goes out of play for a throw into Germany in their right back position. 16 minutes plus stoppage time to play. The regulation 90 minutes anyway of this Euro 2020 last 16 encounter between England and Germany. Still the deadlock yet to be broken. Harry Maguire for England in possession, still arguably had their best chance of the match during the first half. Finds Jack Grealish, who turns but stumbles as he does so. Does well in the end under pressure from Kroos and Goretzka to offload the pass, and England will look to work the ball forward to Raheem Sterling, who runs at Tony Rudiger, finds Harry Kane, who places it to Jack Grealish, edge of the area. Luke Shaw overlapping, low ball into the box, and it's turned into the back of the net by Raheem Sterling. And with just about 15 minutes remaining in this game, England have got their noses in front, and the man who has scored all their goals at this tournament so far, Raheem Sterling, is the man taking the plaudits.
Deadlock broken at Wembley with 15 minutes to go, and it's the first effort of any kind for England in the second half, and no surprise perhaps given he scored England's 2 previous goals in the tournament that Raheem had his third of Euro 2020. He found a little bit of space to start the move inside the Germany half, but Kane, Grealish worked it out to Luke Shaw. Sterling had made his run into the box. It was a lovely ball in from Luke Shaw, low into the path of Raheem Sterling, and he just stroked it past Manuel Neuer before Mats Hummels could get there. Neuer could do little about it, and with time already running out, it's England 1, Germany 0.
Yeah, credit to Raheem Sterling. He started the move really from the right-hand side and was on hand to finish it. It was also the first time really we've seen the front three link up for England in tandem in the match. Sterling, Kane, Grealish all involved, and a really good low cross into the box from Luke Shaw. As I say, Sterling, right place, simple finish in the end, and send the majority of Wembley into a celebration. 1 or 2 frowns on the German faces. They still have time to work their way back into this game. Under 15 minutes now to play, but England have drawn them so late in the match. They've got a lead now to protect, but Germany will throw the kitchen sink at England, and they're claiming for a free kick now, and they're going to get the decision, in fact, right on the edge of the England penalty area. Serge Gnabry went down. It was a long ball over the top, and there's a yellow card being handed out by Danny McKaylee, the Dutch official. It's to Harry Maguire. He's picked up the yellow card. It was Kimmich, in fact, who drove into the area. And, yeah, Maguire, make your own mind up, I suppose, Rob, that if he deliberately did that, or if it's just a tangle of legs, but he's stopping Kimmich breaking into the area, and he receives a caution.
Yeah, I mean, did he mean it? I'm not sure. I mean, there is a little bit of contact. If it's not purposeful, it seems a little bit harsh, but Yeah, there's definite contact. He's forced his left leg into his right, tripped him up essentially. Did he mean it? You can't say he was last man though, because Luke Shaw was running alongside there, Kimmich. A little bit silly if he did mean it in any kind of way, Maguire, there, because preventing the goal scoring opportunity potentially. But we saw a free kick in the first half. We bigged it up. It's a great position. This one is a fraction further out than that one. Might be easier to at least get it on target.
Yeah, it's again right of centre. Havertz providing a left-footed option. Muller the right, and Muller it is that strikes towards goal, but the England wall jumped and is able to block the effort away. And then Raheem Sterling puts in a strong challenge on Kai Havertz to divert the ball out of play for a Germany throw-in. So England 1, Germany 0. England haven't won a knockout stage game against Germany at a major international competition since the 1966 World Cup final. They did beat them at Euro 2000, but that was in a group stage match. But the 4 knockout stages games they've played since then, they've lost them all, either during the regulation 90 minutes or, of course, famously on penalties. We're just having a slight pause and having a look at the goal again. One note I would say, Rob, as well, just before we pan to this replay, Harry Maguire was doing some stretching just on the edge of the England penalty area.
Yeah, I mean, given the pace that he hasn't got, and the one time, and the times that Germany have looked dangerous is down those channels. They might attack that lack of pace. That would be a worry. He's on a yellow card now. Would they change it? Potentially. I mean, just going back to the goal, the 3 forwards got involved in the same move. I'm not blaming Saka necessarily. Sterling's on the left. He's got involved with Kane. It's worked out to Grealish, brings in the full-back, and it's back to Sterling. They never worked as a trio at all in the 75 minutes before then. Is it just because Saka's gone off? I don't know, but they get involved together, and they create a chance. They get a goal.
Well, what the change did do is it brought Raheem Sterling across to the right-hand side, and that's where he started the move that led to the goal. It certainly seems like there might be a little bit better balance about England with this forward three, and Jack Grealish provides something a little bit different as well, as the ball goes out of play for an England throw-in. Midway inside the German half, just about half the England team taking the opportunity to have a little bit of a rest before Kieran Trippier will prepare to take this throw-in. England in no rush at this stage to get on with proceedings, holding this narrow 1-goal lead. Declan Rice there trying to find Jack Grealish. It's cleared away by Ginter for Gnabry, who's been on the field the best part of 10 minutes now, and I don't know if he's really had a touch, the German substitute. Phillips now for England. Nice switch out to the left-hand flank to find Luke Shaw. First real time we've seen Shaw get forward in the game was in the build-up to that goal as well, as Harry Kane works the ball out to the England right. Declan Rice has Kieran Trippier outside him. Kane makes a dart into the penalty area. Rice finds the England captain, who squeezes it back towards the goal scorer, Raheem Sterling. Can England find what potentially could be a killer second goal, although they have to be careful in possession? Sterling's lost it, and Havertz now has released Thomas Muller in behind. Thomas Muller for Germany fires his effort wide of the target. A golden opportunity for Muller. He's barely had a kick in this game, and he's arguably wasted Germany's best chance of the match. And what a relief for Raheem Sterling, who gave it away.
That's absolutely shocking, and I don't know what England are doing as a defence. They're all over the place. Okay, they might not be giving Sterling an option. It's a terrible pass, whether he had an option or not. Credit to Kyle Walker. Thomas Muller, obviously, he's getting on a little bit. He perhaps never was quite lightning quick, but he's taken that shot early. He probably still fancies his chances of scoring, and it's just kept arcing past the post. Pickford isn't saving it. He's kind of committed the other way. But, I mean, England, everybody wants to big up their game management. The defence is a 6s and 7s. Yes, they were in possession, but it's almost like they didn't know what to do with it. And the less said about Sterling's pass, the better. It's lucky he scored, and it's lucky Thomas Muller isn't the force he was.
Okay, and so don't think you're expecting your forward to give it away quite as inexplicably as he did. And Muller breaking in, took it earlier. As you say, I think it's probably because he could feel Kyle Walker breathing down his neck and needed to offload quickly, and Walker's sheer presence probably did enough just to put the Germany forward off. As England now in possession, that's a warning sign that the whole team really have to heed, as Jordan Pickford receives the ball from Harry Maguire, launches it long out towards the left-hand side, where Jack Grealish does well actually to beat Ginter in the air. He will give chase now to his own flick on, but Ginter is able to tidy up and go back towards Manuel Neuer. Risky ball then in field from Josh Kimmich to give it back to his goalkeeper, who clears left-footed up towards the halfway line, but good desire to win it back there from Walker. Feeds the ball forward towards Sterling, who's stopped in his tracks by Gosens. He'll get the second ball though, Raheem Sterling from Kieran Trippier, but he realised there as soon as he touched the ball that he was always going to be flagged offside, as England are preparing another change. Jordan Henderson is going to come on. Emre Can is also going to enter the fray pretty soon for Germany. Interesting though, from an England point of view, Rob, who Henderson's going to replace. Is it going to be like for like, or is Gareth Southgate going defensive?
Big chance at Wembley for Germany to equalise, and it's come from a horror back pass from Raheem Sterling inside the Germany half. Played it back towards his own goal. It was away from England defenders. It was then played through into the path of Thomas Muller. Essentially, he was clear, and he was staying clear. Kyle Walker was giving game chase to at least breathe down his neck. Thomas Muller decided to take the one-on-one chance early, just outside the D. It had Jordan Pickford beaten, but it also arced the wrong side of the post. Massive chance for Germany. Big let off for England and Raheem Sterling. Time running out at Wembley. It's still England 1, Germany 0.
Yeah, 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this match, or remaining of the 90 minutes. If there are no further goals, then it will be England heading through at the end of those 6.5 minutes to a quarter-final against either Sweden or the Ukraine in Rome next Saturday. Those two teams playing in the final round of 16 tie, which will kick off in just over an hour's time. Mats Hummels, though, for Germany, who's barely got a foot wrong in the game, finds Thomas Muller on the left-hand side. He's being marshalled by Declan Rice, who forces Muller back towards Kroos. Good ball forward from Kroos. Gnabry tries to turn it round the corner. Easily picked off by Stones. Kane then rolls away from Kroos, who can't put the challenge in, doesn't want to make the foul. And England have got 4 players forward in this attack. In no real hurry to get it forward, though, it has to be said, as Kane, a rather tired ball out towards Sterling, and they recycle the ball back towards the halfway line. It looked like there, Rob, it was almost a 4-on-4 for England. If they wanted to go for the jugular, they potentially could have created something.
Yeah, I mean, they'll talk about game management and all this kind of nonsense. I mean, essentially, Germany are less likely to score if they're defending their own 18-yard box than pressurising England's 18-yard box. Obviously, it brings an element of risk. That's not to say England can't do it. And Luke Shaw's won it on the halfway line again. Here come England once more.
Yeah, Shaw breaking forward. He's got options to his left. One of those is Jack Grealish, who crosses towards Kane, and England have their second goal. And Harry Kane, who's barely been involved in this match, he's not had a great tournament by his own high standards, but come of the hour, come of the man, and he scores, and England now have taken a giant step towards the quarter-finals of Euro 2020.
Is that game over with the time running out? England have grabbed their second. Germany committing bodies forward. A loose pass was well intercepted by Luke Shaw. Driving forward, it was worked out to Jack Grealish. A brilliant ball right ahead of Harry Kane, 10 yards out, and he gave Manuel Neuer no chance at all. Harry Kane's first goal of the tournament. England's second of the match, and there's less than 5 minutes to go. Is that game over? England 2, Germany 0.
Luke Shaw, who got the assist for the first goal, won the ball back to start the move for the second. Grealish's cross from the left-hand side. Kane, I think he's just about onside. I'm not sure if VAR are having a check of this. He just looks like he's there. And he stoops and heads Grealish's cross into the back of the net. Grealish, an assist, had a huge influence since coming off the bench. The whole dynamic of England's arrival, but Kane's got his goal, his first at these European Championships, and England, with under 4 minutes plus stoppage time left to play, lead Germany by 2-0. Surely they are setting up a quarter-final date with either Sweden or the Ukraine, and Harry Kane has had his critics in this tournament. Some of his performances haven't been that great. Remember that statistic from the first half, 2 touches in 35 minutes of this game. Well, it doesn't matter now because he's had a crucial touch, Rob, inside the German penalty area. Because
they're showing replays, I'm still waiting for VAR to have ruled this goal out, We've just seen Declan Rice leave the field for Jordan Henderson, and it looks like the goal is going to stand because, he is really right on the edge. And obviously, given the season we've just had, you're never quite sure what VAR VAR's going to do about your offsides. But Germany have kicked off. The goal stands. There's less than 3 minutes, plus injury time, of course. And England, well, surely they can't lose this one. Having said that, Spain, France, both threw away late 2-goal leads, Tom. I'm not counting my chickens just yet.
Yeah, England have to heed that warning from those 2 games, as Leroy Sané has come on for Robin Gosens and Emre Can has replaced Matthias Ginter. So attacking changes for Germany. Is it too little too late? Remember, if they go out of this competition, then it brings Joachim Löw's 15-year tenure as Germany manager to an abrupt end. And Löw being replaced by Hansi Flick after Germany's run in this tournament comes to an end, and that might be a matter of minutes away now as Kane heads the ball on for England towards Sterling, who goes down in the area. More a case of him, Antonio Rudiger, than anything else. Sané will now get his first touch for Germany down the left-hand side, finds Kroos, who carries up towards the halfway line. It's going to be route one from Tony Kroos, sends it forward towards Muller. Maguire beats him in the air, but it drops Germany's Kimmich, sweeps the ball across to the left-hand flank to find Sané, the former Manchester City man, looking to take on England's substitute Jordan Henderson. Sané squares it to Can, another one of the recent introductions to the game. He's asking for Kimmich to make the run down the right-hand side. Eventually it's worked into Tony Rudiger, who will clip the ball from a central position into the box, easily headed away by John Stones. Kroos will pick up the pieces once again for Germany. This is going to be the pattern of the game really now until the end of the until the final whistle is blown by the referee. Kroos' ball into the box again, headed away by Luke Shaw, and England sitting deep but defending these balls into the box pretty effectively at the moment. Rudiger now for Germany, out towards Kimmich, who keeps the ball moving down the right hand side. Serge Gnabry will get an early cross into the box. It's deep towards the far post, too deep for anyone in the area, but Sané will keep the attack alive for Germany down their left-hand flank. He's looking to take on Kieran Trippier, stands across up towards the far post. Stones heads half clear, shot comes in from Goretzka on the edge of the area. He doesn't catch it properly. Havertz tries to control, but it goes out of play and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure's there. I mean, I'm not convinced by England's defending. It's a little bit, let's just get everybody in the 18-yard box, so if they do shoot, we might block it. I mean, I think England are better than that. They've attacked, been in possession. This is just sitting back on the edge of the box. I know you don't want to open up the space, but this was my fear for either side who was going to lose. Because it's so cagey, you'd rather go down fighting, wouldn't you? Neither side has really taken this game by the scruff of the neck, and the fear was that you'd regret it if you lost. Thankfully, from a personal viewpoint, England appeared to be heading to victory because the game is now in stoppage time. But I mean, both sides, if they'd have lost this, they'd have been kicking themselves. Germany would be thinking, why didn't we attack more? Because they started the game well, they're finishing the game well possession-wise, and if there's more pressure, they might have created more goal-scoring opportunities. But there's 3.5 minutes left of stoppage time.
Yeah, it was 4 that was allocated by the official as the cross comes in from the right-hand side by Kimmich, and it's helped towards goal by Goretzka. It flashes across the 6-yard box. Kai Havertz was throwing himself at it, but he couldn't make any contact with the ball, and that moment there possibly is going to sum up Germany's day.
Yeah, I mean they've left it late, but I mean, as I say, they started, they put the pressure on, they looked dangerous down the channels. All that has dried up for whatever reason. Maybe it's just England have improved, I don't know, but England didn't have a shot in the second half until they scored. Jamal Musiala's come on for Thomas Muller. There's a bit that's obviously going to be looked at, isn't it? That chance for Muller. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He didn't hit the target. That's a big chance. It's changed the game. It wasn't long after that England got their second game over. But I think there's a lot of regrets there from a Germany viewpoint. Joachim Löw's last tournament, he wouldn't have wanted to go out losing a cagey game. But that's exactly what Germany appeared to be doing.
Yeah, Muller not happy. I'm not sure if that's because he's been substituted or he's thinking about the miss he had at 1-0. There's a ball over the top. Grealish looking to get on the end of it, but Manuel Neuer is out of his goal very quickly, acting as sweeper keeper as he likes to do. Jamal Musiala, incidentally, the Bayern Munich teenager coming on. Of course, a former England youth international, represented England up to under 21 level before choosing to represent the country of his birth at full international level as a ball forward there from Germany, looking towards Mats Hummels, who's basically playing as a striker. Now an auxiliary one as Kimmich will lift it back in towards Hummels once again, but out comes Jordan Pickford, who claims well. And Jordan Pickford's had a good game, Rob, as well. He's made important saves at important times, denying Werner in the first half, that one at the start of the second when he tipped over from Kai Havertz. And I think a lot of plaudits will go to Grealish coming off the bench, the goal scorers Kane and Sterling, but Pickford and one or two of the defenders have also played well.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely played well, Jordan Pickford. I mean, England don't concede many shots, but they've conceded a couple on target. That is, they've conceded a couple today, and they've needed Pickford. Two big saves that he's made, kept England on level terms. They go in, it's a different game. England have to throw the kitchen sink, leave spaces open at the back. That's exactly what Germany have had to do, and of course England have got their second. Manuel Neuer, has he made a save today? England have scored twice. Is it 2 shots on target, 2 goals? I'm not blaming him for either goal, but this is Germany. They leak chances as a free kick comes in, but that's too deep. Calvin Phillips has made their header, and then it's helped further clear by Henderson. If Phillips had left that, it's going wide. Should have had the call there. But we're into the last few seconds, Tom, and it looks like a famous England victory.
Yeah, famous knockout stage victory for England over Germany. They've scored with only 2 shots in this second half. Incidentally, just to emphasise Rob's point, we're into the final 15 seconds now of stoppage time. Another hopeful hoof forward from Manuel Neuer, headed away for the umpteenth time from Harry Maguire. Sane helps it back forward for Germany, but again England can scramble it up towards the halfway line. One last opportunity maybe for Germany. Kimmich helps the ball into the box. Maguire attacks it. He doesn't get there. Stones does. Stones for a second time heads it down. Henderson scoops it clear, and that is it. England are through to the European Championship quarter-finals. They've beaten Germany for the first time since the 1966 World Cup. Second half goals from Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane prove the difference in this match. England go on to face either Sweden or Ukraine